That moment when you realize why you love Stain so much from Boku no Hero Academia. Yes, there is a correlation between the two series, because this right here, with what everybody was doing to Saitama in this episode, that correlation with Stain, though. Holy shit. I never realized that until I just saw this scene again with Saitama saying why he's a hero. Okay, so I want to save that for the later half of the video. Before I get into that, let's talk about the first half, which was... the simplest way to put it is an orgasmic first half. Like, that first half. I know that the series doesn't have the highest budget. I've already talked about this in a video. The main reason why One Punch Man looks as good as it does is actually because of the dedication and passion of the staff. Thanks to the staff putting in all the extra hours and hard work into the series, One Punch Man would not look this good if they didn't do that. So, hats off to One Punch Man staff. I mean, this episode... if you thought any of the other episodes were good looking, like if you thought any episode already of One Punch Man, like the other 6 episodes were fucking amazing, you see nothing. This right here, this fucking first half, just the first half alone. The first half alone of this episode, I swear to you, if I did not know that this had an average budget, I would be flipping my shit right now. I'm flipping my shit even more just to find out that this goes to show you, when a staff is actually passionate about a series they're making, this is the type of incredible work they can make. What we're seeing here is what can happen when a staff actually cares about what they're making. This is some beautiful work. All the animators, to anyone that's working on One Punch Man and Madhouse right now, really needs to have a pay raise. I'm saying that right now. Madhouse really needs to give them a pay raise after the work they're putting into this series, because they're doing an amazing job. I think everybody right now is just loving One Punch Man, because it continuously gets better and better by the week. And majority of us, if we didn't see that article and see the staff actually come out and say about what they said about the budget, we would have thought this was an incredibly high budget, like a high-class budget, but it's not. So, just to see how the art was throughout this entire episode, along with the art style, with the animation, it was something I just could not believe I was witnessing. With an average budget. With an average budget. What I witnessed in this episode, I swear to you, beats majority, or I think majority of series from this anime season I have seen. Personally, I have seen. I haven't seen everything, but from what I have seen, this beats majority of everything. Because the quality in this was insane. That meteor scene alone, when you saw that meteor scene with Genos just charging up, and you just see him, like, take out his core, put it into his fucking arm, slap it there, he's powering up, and you just see him shooting fucking a huge laser up at the meteor. Let me fangasm for a second, please. I can't hold it any longer. That shit was fucking hype! Oh my god! Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry. Whew! Okay, so that entire scene with just seeing Genos just charging up, you see the different, like, fucking frame by frames as, like, you see his entire arms, like, turning into a fucking laser weapon, and then you see how he pulls out his core, to, like, you know, how the animation and art style changed a little bit when he was firing the laser, and then you saw it to where Silver Fang was behind him, like, oh, you moved it a little bit, and he's like, really? No, I'm just seeing things. Fucking Silver Fang is amazing. Just, ugh. I want to ask the question. I want to ask all you anime-onlys right now, because I want to hear your impressions of it. How do you all anime-onlys feel about Silver Fang? The old man. That's who it is. Just to clarify, if you don't know who Silver Fang is yet. The old man that was introduced in this episode, how do you feel about Silver Fang? Did you like his design? I'm very curious on how you all feel about him, because let me know your thoughts. Like, what type of character does he remind you of? Because let me once again point this out. One Punch Man loves making fun of shonen. And what type of character does, you know, Solar Fang look like? Or, you know, what type of character does he remind you of? Or anyone. Just let me hear your thoughts on that. But anyways, the next thing to talk about is Metal Knight. Metal Knight comes flying in, and I remember that, reading that in the manga. Oh my god, the manga was colored at that point. I remember reading the colored version of that when we got to that point in the manga. And it looked like an anime. It looked like a beautiful anime from the panels. Panel by panel, it looked like an anime. Like, it was moving. And to see that entire scene, the way it was done, I don't know if it is better than the manga, but it's extremely damn close. Like, it was really good. I can't really put it down, because the reflection on Metal Knight, when you see him land in, that was one of the most iconic things I remember from One Punch Man, from this one Meteor scene, was Metal Knight's reflection. Like, you saw the reflection, and we got to see that. We saw the reflection on his freaking metal body. And when I saw that, I'm like, GG, 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 G fucking G, GG, GG, Madhouse GG. Because that right there, I knew they wanted to put in the extra effort. Majority of anime studios wouldn't put in that extra effort, and they would have just colored that fucking Knight one solid color, just a big, ugly gray. That's how normal anime studios would treat that scene. I know certain studios that would do that. They would just take out that, you know, reflection. They're like, nah, let's just put some fucking gray. Let's just, like, fucking gray all over. Let's not even put a reflection. I'm so glad passionate people behind this series just for that. Oh, my God. Okay, so next thing. We also have it to where we get to see the display of power from the S-Class heroes. So, we don't really just get to see Saitama come in and saving the day, which he does do that. But we get to see the demonstration of power from the S-Class heroes. We get to see the Metal Knight, which is also an S-Class hero. We get to see Genos when he's trying to go maximum full power with his core. And then we also saw Fang, which he didn't fight, but we can assume he is pretty damn strong as well, the way he was acting. So, we got to see some S-Class heroes in action in this episode, and it wasn't just Saitama, you know, doing everything, which goes to show you how the series loves showcasing other characters besides just Saitama, which is the main thing, once again, I want you all to focus on when it comes to anime onlys. Don't always just assume that Saitama is going to be there. Even if he might, don't always assume that. Always look at these villains as they are a pretty big fucking threat, because super villains, and these guys are not, you know, Saitama level. None of our regular guys are Saitama level. Saitama is like the guy that comes in when all else fails. So, we kind of can assume that Saitama, he just went up in strength. Like, if you already thought his strength was ridiculous as it already was, I know everybody, or anime onlys in general, are going to be freaking out after this episode, especially the first half, when they saw Saitama just jump up, and you just saw the shockwave of him jumping, and when he just shatters the meteor, he just completely shatters the meteor, goes right through it, shatters it, stops the momentum of the fucking meteor. Like, let me point something out here, okay? Genos put full power. We saw the blast, and we saw Metal Knight's rocket missiles, you know, going in and shooting the meteor, okay? It didn't slow that thing down. Barely. It slowed it down just barely, but, like, it was still coming. It did not go back up. The momentum didn't stop. It kept coming. But Saitama just jumped up, fucking punched a meteor, went straight through it, and made it explode. The lucky part is nobody died. We come to find out nobody died after the aftermath of that explosion. Now, of course, the entire town was, let's just say it's seen better days. Like, the town has definitely seen better days because it was just gone. But thank God nobody died. And that is what I think everybody should be focusing on, which they didn't. So this leads into the second half of the episode. So the second half of the episode, I think, is going to sicken majority of anime onlys, and it sickened me as well as a manga reader just to see this again in anime form, because to see how Saitama, even though he didn't want, you know, people to admire him or to praise him, he even says that, it's still fucked up how he saves everybody, because if Saitama wasn't there, the entire town would have been gone. Everybody would have died. everybody would have died. They're not looking at the big picture. Saitama saved everybody's life. Nobody died. Now, let me show you how hypocritical this is. If Saitama, let's just say, just hypothetical, let's say Saitama fucked up. And he broke the meteor, but it killed 1,000 people. Do you think everybody would be focusing on those deaths? Or, you know, just one death. Let's just say fucking one death. Just one death happens. Everybody is going to be focusing in on that one death and saying it's Saitama's fault. But then, when nobody dies, and he saves everybody, what's really important is the life, the human fucking life, not your possessions. They start bitching at him, like, oh, my fucking car, my car's gone, oh, God, my life is fine, but my fucking car! Like, that just, like, that pisses me off more than anything. It really sickens me when I see shit like that. And to see how Saitama does that, and then everybody's just bitching at him throughout half of the episode, and when you see Thor, these tank top tiger and stuff, they're just making fun of him and just saying like, oh yeah, you're the one that destroyed the town and city, and yeah, I mean, you caused all this damage, you're kind of like a villain, oh, he's going to attack us, and they try to get fame by attacking Saitama and putting him down, thinking he's weak, which they're dumbasses, by the way, because, I mean, seriously, if Saitama has the strength to somehow destroy a meteor, they should have realized you don't fuck with a man that can do something like that, so they fucked up pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, I love what Saitama says in retaliation against everybody. That was something that really is probably going to be one of the most iconic scenes, I think, of the anime, or One Punch Man in general. For many, is because of what Saitama says at that one moment. Because majority of people, no matter the person, a lot of people, if they were in that situation after saving the day, they would probably get pissed off, break down, either quit being a hero, bitch at everybody, and say, like, I'm done with you, I'm not saving your ass. You know, I could see many people wanting to say that after getting yelled at by everybody. Nobody dies, but they still yell at you. I could see many, even the strongest men, breaking down after that scene. If you heard many people like that just yelling at you. And so, to see this, we got to see the will of Saitama. We got to see his unmovable will for what he wants to do as a hero. He doesn't care about what people thinks. He doesn't. He's like, you guys can blame me. I'm not a hero to be admired. I'm not a hero for you can all praise me and say, oh my god, Saitama, you're the best hero of all time. He's not that. He doesn't care. He does hero stuff because he wants to be a hero. He just wants to be a hero. That's what a true hero should be. He doesn't want nothing in return, really. He's just doing his job. That's what he wants to do. And it's really beautiful the way that was displayed, and it really goes along with what I said at the beginning of this video with Stain. I'm not going to spoil nothing, by the way, but when I saw that scene, if Stain was, let's say, in this manga, and he looked at Saitama, he would be like, that's a true hero. That's a fucking true hero. That is how a hero should be. Instead of worrying about himself, he worried about everybody else. Just fucking, that is a hero. Saitama was a good man. He was definitely a good man after this episode for what he did for everybody. So, next thing to talk about, okay? There was an article that happened, yesterday. Yeah, there was an article yesterday, and it was early morning, actually. I was going to make a video on it, but I decided to just save it for this episode because, I mean, it was just so close. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just save that and discuss it at the end of this, review of One Punch Man. So, apparently, we are getting Lord Boros. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything about that, but there is an article, and it shows the voice actors, like the upcoming voice actors for the Sea King and Lord Boros. And that's pretty fucking hype, because, let's put it this way, anime onlys, you haven't seen shit. You haven't seen shit until you see Lord Boros, or Sea King, you haven't seen shit. Because that right there, I remember having a mini heart attack when I read that in the manga. So, I'm saying, if they continuously be passionate like this, what they've been showing, especially with this meteor scene, I can't imagine how that scene, the future scenes are going to be. I cannot even begin to imagine how good that is going to be. So, Lord Boros hype, Sea King hype, and that's about it. So, Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you all feel about this week's episode of One Punch Man? How do you feel about, you know, the message of what Saitama is trying to give out? How do you feel about Silver Fang? How do you feel about Metal Knight? And I wonder how many of you noticed the connection with Genos' past that was revealed in Metal Knight. I'm curious how many of you actually noticed that. But you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.